The alpha beast mentality is about taking full control of your life. No excuses, no hesitation. It's about building the mindset that will push you to work harder, go further, and overcome every challenge in your path. Imagine having the discipline to make the right choices every single day, the focus to block out distractions, and the courage to face fear head-on. This is not about being the best for a day or a week. It's about creating a mindset that drives you to push through every obstacle, no matter how tough. In this video, we're going to dive into what it takes to adopt the alpha beast mentality and how you can start implementing it today. By the end of it, you'll know exactly what it takes to dominate your life and become the strongest version of yourself. Stick around. This will change everything. Number 1. Build unshakable discipline by controlling your daily habits. If you don't control your daily habits, your habits will control you. Every action you take, every decision you make, it all add up. And whether you realize it or not, those small daily choices are shaping your future. The question is, are they shaping the future you want, or are they pulling you further away from your goals? Most people live on autopilot. They wake up, check their phones, scroll through distractions, waste time on things that don't matter, and then wonder why their life isn't moving forward. They say they want success, but their habits don't match their words. And that's the problem. You cannot want greatness and live in laziness. You cannot dream of power while indulging in weakness. The person you are today is a direct result of what you do every single day. If you don't control your habits, you will never control your future. Now here's the truth. Discipline is not something you are born with. It's built, it's trained, it's developed through repetition, through conscious effort, through the refusal to let your feelings dictate your actions. Most people wait to feel motivated. That's their biggest mistake. They think discipline is about waking up and feeling excited to work hard. But discipline has nothing to do with feelings. It's about action. It's about doing what needs to be done, whether you feel like it or not. Look at the most successful people in the world. They don't rely on motivation. They don't negotiate with themselves in the morning about whether they should get up or hit snooze. They don't waste time scrolling through distractions. They operate on a system. They have habits that are locked in, non-negotiable, and unbreakable. That's what separates them from the masses. That's what makes them unstoppable. If you want to build unshakable discipline, you need to take control of your daily habits. And it starts with one simple question. How do you start your day? Because how you begin your morning will determine how you live your day. And how you live your days will determine the quality of your life. Most people wake up and immediately hand over control to their distractions. They check their phones, consume meaningless content, and let their emotions be dictated by outside influences. But an alpha mentality doesn't work that way. You don't start your day reacting to the world. You start by commanding your mind and body to do what needs to be done. You wake up with purpose. You start with intention. First, master your mornings. That means no phone, no distractions, no wasting time. Your first hour is sacred. You use it to set your mind and body in the right state. You move your body. You get your blood flowing. You prepare your mind for the challenges ahead. That's the foundation of discipline. Starting strong, setting the tone, taking control from the moment you open your eyes. Then structure your day with purpose. Every action you take should have meaning. Mindless scrolling, unnecessary conversations, distractions, they have no place in your life. If it's not making you stronger, sharper, or better, cut it out. Most people waste hours every day without realizing it. They do things out of habit, not because it benefits them. And that's where discipline comes in. You must take control, decide what matters, and eliminate what doesn't. If your goal is to build a strong body, your habits must align with that goal. That means eating the right foods, training with intensity, and getting enough rest. If your goal is to build a sharp mind, your habits must reflect that. That means reading, learning, and surrounding yourself with the right influences. Everything must be intentional. There is no room for randomness. Success is not accidental. It is built through discipline. Now, one of the biggest mistakes people make is thinking discipline means restriction. They think it's about removing all fun from life. But that's not true. Discipline is not about taking away. It's about gaining control. It's about choosing long-term success over short-term comfort. It's about prioritizing what you want most over what you want now. And the more disciplined you become, the more freedom you have. Because when you master your habits, you master your life. Think about it: when you lack discipline, you are a slave to your impulses. You waste money on things you don't need. You eat food that makes you weak. You waste time on distractions that add no value to your life. But when you have discipline, you control yourself. You control what you do, how you think, how you react. And that kind of power is rare. Now, if you want to develop unshakable discipline, here's what you need to do. First, create a routine and stick to it. It doesn't matter if you feel like it or not. Your routine is law. Wake up at the same time, train at the same time, work at the same time. Remove decision fatigue. The more decisions you have to make, the weaker your discipline becomes. Lock in your habits so there is no debate. Second, eliminate excuses. People say they don't have time, but they waste hours on nonsense. They say they can't focus, but they never train their minds. They say they lack motivation, but motivation is never the problem. Discipline is. If you are serious about becoming the best version of yourself, you need to be honest about where you are wasting time, energy, and potential. And once you find those weak spots, fix them. Third, embrace discomfort. If you only do what's easy, you will always remain weak. If you avoid challenges, you will never grow. Discipline is built through struggle. That means pushing yourself in the gym when you're tired, working on your goals when you don't feel like it, doing what needs to be done even when every part of you wants to quit. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you become stronger. Every time you push through resistance, you level up. And finally, hold yourself accountable. If you fail, own it. If you break your habits, fix it. There is no room for self-pity. There is no time for blaming others. The world doesn't care about excuses. You either control your habits, or your habits control you. You either take action, or you stay stuck. And the choice is yours. So ask yourself, what kind of life do you want to build? Do you want to be weak, undisciplined, controlled by impulses? Or do you want to be strong, focused, and in command of your life? Because the truth is, nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is going to build your discipline for you. You have to make the choice. You have to do the work. And if you commit to it, if you take control of your habits, master your discipline, and refuse to let weakness win, you will become unstoppable. You will develop a mentality that cannot be shaken. You will live with purpose, power, and strength. This is how you build an alpha beast mentality. This is how you take control of your life. Now it's time to do the work. Number 2, develop extreme focus by eliminating all useless distractions. Focus is your greatest weapon. In a world full of distractions, the ability to concentrate on one goal, one task, one mission without interference is what separates the weak from the strong. Most people don't lack intelligence, talent, or opportunity. They lack focus. They spend their days jumping from one thing to another, letting the outside world control their attention. They allow notifications, mindless entertainment, and other people's agendas to dictate their time. And they wonder why they can't get ahead. If you want to develop extreme focus, you must first understand one thing: every distraction steals from your future. Every unnecessary video you watch, every useless conversation you engage in, every moment wasted scrolling through nonsense. It's all energy that could have been used to build something meaningful. But most people don't see it that way. They think a few minutes here and there don't matter. They believe they can afford to be distracted. But add up those minutes, those hours, those wasted days, and you'll realize that distraction is the thief of success. The truth is, most people will never reach their full potential because they refuse to control their focus. They live in reaction mode. They wake up and immediately surrender their attention to the world. Their phones dictate their mornings, their emotions dictate their actions, and their environment dictates their mindset. But that is not how a focused, disciplined, high-performance individual operates. The strong do not let distractions control them. They eliminate what is unnecessary. They take command of their attention. Your focus is your power. And if you waste it, you will never achieve anything great. The ability to focus deeply on one thing for an extended period is rare. That is why those who master it rise above the rest. The ability to work without distraction, to train without interruption, to read without wandering thoughts. This is what creates extraordinary results. This is what turns average effort into unstoppable momentum. But to achieve that level of focus, you must be ruthless with your attention. The first step to developing extreme focus is cutting out everything that does not serve your goals. And that means being brutally honest with yourself about what is stealing your time. Look at your daily life. How many hours do you waste on distractions that add no value? How much time do you spend consuming meaningless content, talking to people who don't inspire you, doing things that don't align with your purpose? Be honest, because until you identify the distractions, you cannot eliminate them. Once you've identified what's stealing your focus, the next step is to remove it permanently. This is where most people fail. They think they can balance focus and distraction, that they can achieve their goals while still indulging in entertainment, social media, and pointless conversations. But they can't. Focus is not about balance. It's about commitment. It's about cutting off everything that weakens you. It's about choosing excellence over ease. If your phone is a distraction, remove the temptation. Put it in another room. Turn off notifications. Uninstall apps that waste your time. If certain people constantly drain your energy, limit your interactions. If your environment is filled with noise and interruptions, change it. Because if you don't control your environment will control you. The world is full of distractions, and if you are not actively eliminating them, you are allowing them to control your mind. The next step to developing extreme focus is training your mind to work in deep concentration. Most people cannot sit still and focus on one task for more than a few minutes. Their minds jump from thought to thought, craving stimulation. That is why they struggle to complete tasks, to learn deeply, to make real progress. But this can be trained. The mind, like a muscle, strengthens with use. The more you force yourself to focus deeply, the stronger your focus becomes. Start small. Pick one task, one goal, one mission, and commit to it for a set amount of time without allowing any distractions. No checking your phone, no switching between tasks, no interruptions. If your mind wanders, bring it back. If you feel the urge to check something else, resist it. Train your mind to stay locked in, to stay immersed in the task at hand. This is how you sharpen your focus. This is how you develop the ability to work for hours without losing momentum. Most people fail to focus because they lack discipline. They seek comfort. They allow themselves to be distracted because distractions are easy. But success is not for those who take the easy path. Success is for those who are willing to do what others won't. It is for those who can sit in silence, who can work in solitude, who can resist the urge to escape into mindless entertainment. It is for those who can train their minds to stay locked in, to stay relentless, to stay committed, no matter how difficult it gets. Another key to developing extreme focus is learning to protect your mental energy. Focus is not just about eliminating distractions. It is also about managing your energy. Every decision you make, every problem you solve, every time you switch tasks, you are using mental energy. And the more energy you waste on unimportant things, the less you have for what truly matters. That is why high-performance individuals simplify their lives. They create routines. They remove unnecessary decisions. They minimize distractions so they can put all their energy into what truly matters. One of the most effective ways to protect your mental energy is to structure your day with clear priorities. You should never wake up without a plan. You should never start your day without knowing exactly what you need to focus on. If you don't control your schedule, the world will control it for you. Set clear goals. Identify the most important tasks, and then execute with complete focus. No distractions, no wasted time, just pure focused action. Extreme focus also requires learning to say no. Most people cannot focus because they say yes to everything. They take on too many tasks, too many obligations, too many commitments that don't align with their goals. And as a result, their time and energy are scattered. If you want to be great at anything, you must learn to say no to everything that does not align with your mission. If it does not serve your purpose, if it does not move you forward, if it does not contribute to your growth, eliminate it. Now, the final key to developing extreme focus is learning to love the process of deep work. Focus is not just about achieving a goal. It is about becoming the kind of person who thrives in deep concentration. It is about rewiring your brain to find satisfaction in working without distraction. The best in the world, whether in business, athletics, or any other field, do not just work hard. They love to work with intensity. They find joy in discipline. They take pride in their ability to concentrate. And that mindset is what sets them apart. Most people will never develop this level of focus because they are addicted to distractions. They crave constant stimulation. They fear silence. But if you want to be unstoppable, you must train yourself to love deep work. You must reprogram your mind to embrace focus, to thrive in solitude, to see distractions as the enemy of progress. And when you do that, when you eliminate all useless distractions, when you train your mind to stay locked in, when you commit to full immersion in your work, you will achieve results that others can only dream of. Focus is the ultimate advantage. It is the difference between mediocrity and greatness. And in a world where most people are scattered, unfocused, and distracted, those who develop extreme focus will always win. So take control of your attention. Cut out everything that weakens you. Train your mind to stay locked in, because once you master your focus, you will master your life. Number 3. Strengthen your mind by facing fear without hesitation. Fear is the invisible chain that holds most people back. It stops them from taking risks, from speaking up, from pushing their limits. It keeps them stuck in a life that is smaller than what they are capable of living. And the worst part, most people don't even realize they are controlled by fear. They disguise it as logic, as caution, as waiting for the right time. But the truth is, they are afraid. Afraid of failure, afraid of rejection, afraid of discomfort. And because of that fear, they hesitate, they overthink, they delay. And in that hesitation, they lose momentum. They allow fear to dictate their actions instead of confronting it head on. But here's what you must understand. Fear is nothing more than a test. It is a test of your will, your courage, your determination. And those who pass the test, those who step forward despite fear, those who refuse to let it control them, those are the ones who grow, the ones who achieve, the ones who separate themselves from the rest. Fear will always be there. It is part of being human. But the difference between the strong and the weak is how they respond to it. The weak hesitate. The strong act. The weak seek comfort. The strong push forward. The weak wait for the fear to disappear. The strong move despite it. If you want to strengthen your mind, you must stop waiting for fear to go away. You must stop looking for the perfect conditions, the right timing, the guarantee of success, because none of that exists. The only way to break free from fear is to act in the face of it, not after it, not around it, through it. Fear loses its power when you move toward it. The moment you take action, the fear starts to fade. The hesitation disappears. The doubt weakens. But if you allow fear to make you pause, it will grow stronger. The longer you wait, the more power it gains. That is why hesitation is the enemy. It gives fear time to build, time to grow, time to control you. You must make a decision right now that fear will never dictate your actions again, that you will not let hesitation steal your opportunities, that you will step forward even when your hands shake, even when your heart pounds, even when your mind screams for you to stop. Because that is how mental strength is built. Not by avoiding fear, not by running from it, but by facing it over and over, until it has no control over you. The first step to breaking free from fear is to recognize when it is controlling you. Most people don't even realize how much fear dictates their choices. They avoid challenges without thinking. They choose the easy path without questioning. They make excuses instead of acknowledging that they are afraid. But if you want to take control of your mind, you must be honest with yourself. You must ask, what am I avoiding? What am I afraid to do? What excuses am I making? Because until you identify the fear, you cannot conquer it. Once you recognize the fear, the next step is to move toward it. Immediately. No hesitation, no waiting, no thinking about it for days. The moment you feel fear, the moment your mind tries to hold you back, that is the moment you must act. Pick up the phone. Start the conversation. Step onto the stage. Make the decision. Whatever it is, do it now. Because action is the only thing that destroys fear. Thinking does not destroy fear. Talking about it does not destroy fear. Only movement, only action, only stepping into it will make it disappear. Most people fail to overcome fear because they try to avoid discomfort. They want confidence before they act. They want certainty before they start. But that is not how it works. Confidence does not come before action. It comes from action. You do not become fearless by waiting. You become fearless by moving. Every time you face fear, every time you refuse to let it control you, you become stronger. Your mind becomes tougher. Your courage grows. And the things that once scared you start to feel small. But here's the truth. This is not something you do once. This is something you must do every single day. Strengthening your mind is like strengthening your body. You do not lift weights once and expect to be strong forever. You train every day. You push yourself every day. You go beyond your comfort zone every day. And the same is true for fear. Every day you will face things that make you uncomfortable. And every day you will have a choice: hesitate or act. Fear will try to make you stop. It will try to keep you small. But if you are serious about building an unshakable mind, you must step forward every single time. One of the most powerful ways to develop mental strength is to intentionally seek out discomfort. Do things that scare you. Put yourself in situations that force you to grow. Speak up when you feel like staying quiet. Take risks when you feel like playing it safe. Push yourself beyond what feels comfortable. Because the more you expose yourself to fear, the less power it has over you. The people who achieve the most in life are not the ones who feel the least fear. They are the ones who have conditioned themselves to act despite it. Another key to building mental toughness is changing the way you think about fear. Most people see fear as a stop sign, as a reason to pull back, as something negative. But the strongest minds see fear as a signal to move forward. They understand that fear means growth. Fear means opportunity. Fear means you are stepping into something bigger than your current self. And that is exactly what you want. You do not want to stay the same. You do not want to live a small life. You do not want to look back with regret. So instead of fearing fear, embrace it, chase it, move toward it every time you feel it. And here's what you will discover. When you stop running from fear, when you stop avoiding it, it loses its grip on you. The things that once seemed impossible become effortless. The situations that once made you nervous become easy. The obstacles that once held you back become stepping stones. And that is when you realize something powerful. Fear was never real. It was only ever a barrier in your mind. And the moment you stopped believing in it, it disappeared. Most people will never experience this because they are unwilling to do the work. They are unwilling to feel the discomfort. They are unwilling to push through the resistance. And that is why they stay stuck. But you are not most people. You have the power to break through. You have the ability to take control. You have the strength to move forward, even when every part of you wants to hold back. And if you do that, if you commit to facing fear without hesitation, you will develop a level of mental toughness that is unshakable. This is what separates those who achieve from those who don't. This is what determines whether you will live a life of purpose or a life of regret. The strong do not hesitate. They do not let fear dictate their actions. They move forward no matter what. And if you are willing to do the same, if you are willing to push through the fear, to take action despite the doubt, to face every challenge head on, there is nothing in this world that can stop you. Fear is not the enemy. Hesitation is. And once you eliminate hesitation, once you refuse to let fear control your actions, you will become unstoppable. Number 4, take full responsibility for every action and decision. Taking full responsibility for every action and decision is the foundation of true power. It is the difference between living life on your terms and becoming a victim of circumstances. The moment you take complete ownership of everything in your life, your successes, your failures, your habits, your mindset, you take control of your destiny. But most people avoid responsibility. They shift blame. They make excuses. They point fingers. And in doing so, they give away their power. They allow external factors to dictate their future. They convince themselves that their problems are caused by something or someone else. And because of that mindset, they stay stuck. They never grow. They never improve. If you want to take control of your life, you must remove every excuse, every justification, every attempt to shift responsibility. You must look at your life with absolute honesty and ask yourself, where am I failing to take ownership? Where am I blaming others instead of changing myself? Where am I waiting for someone else to fix my problems? Because until you acknowledge the truth, you cannot change it. If you believe your failures are someone else's fault, you will never improve. If you believe your struggles are caused by external circumstances, you will never overcome them. The strongest people in the world, the most successful individuals, all share one thing in common. They take responsibility for everything. No exceptions, no excuses. Taking responsibility means understanding that every outcome in your life is the result of your choices. Every decision you have made has led you to this moment. The job you have, the relationships you are in, the level of health you maintain, it is all a reflection of your decisions. And that is a hard truth to accept, because it means if you are not where you want to be, it is because of you. Not the economy, not your upbringing, not luck. You. But here's why that truth is powerful. Because if you created the problem, you can fix it. If your past choices led you to this point, your future choices can take you anywhere you want to go. The moment you stop blaming, the moment you stop making excuses, you take back control. You stop waiting for life to change and start making it change. Most people refuse to take full responsibility because it is uncomfortable. It is easier to blame circumstances than to admit you made poor choices. It is easier to say life is unfair than to say I need to do better. But easy is not the path to strength. Easy is not the path to success. The strongest minds, the most disciplined individuals, do not take the easy way out. They do the hard work. They look in the mirror and tell themselves the truth. They acknowledge their weaknesses, their mistakes, their failures. And instead of running from them, they correct them. Taking responsibility does not mean punishing yourself. It does not mean feeling guilty or ashamed. It means recognizing that you have the power to improve. It means realizing that you are not stuck unless you choose to be. Because every day, you make choices. And those choices shape your future. If you are in a bad situation, you can change it. If you have bad habits, you can replace them. If you are not achieving what you want, you can adjust your strategy. But none of that happens until you accept that the responsibility is yours. No one is coming to save you. No one is going to fix your problems for you. If you want a better life, you must create it. One of the most powerful things you can do is remove the phrase, "It's not my fault," from your vocabulary. Because even when something is not your fault, it is still your responsibility. If someone treats you unfairly, it is your responsibility to respond correctly. If circumstances are difficult, it is your responsibility to rise above them. If life knocks you down, it is your responsibility to stand back up. The moment you stop waiting for fairness, the moment you stop expecting life to be easy, you gain an advantage. Because while others waste time complaining, you take action. While others sit in self-pity, you move forward. And that is the mindset that creates success. Taking responsibility also means owning your decisions, even when they do not turn out the way you hoped. Most people only want responsibility when things go well. When they succeed, they take all the credit. But when they fail, they blame others. That mindset is weak, because failure is part of life. Mistakes are part of growth. And if you refuse to own your failures, you will never learn from them. The strongest individuals take responsibility even when things go wrong. They say, I made that decision. I learned from it. I will do better next time. And because of that, they grow. They improve. They get stronger. Look at any successful person, and you will see a pattern. They all take full ownership of their lives. They do not waste time blaming others. They do not wait for external factors to improve. They take action. They adapt. They adjust. And because of that, they create success regardless of circumstances. That is the difference between winners and losers. Losers focus on what they cannot control. Winners focus on what they can control. And what you can control is yourself. Your decisions, your habits, your mindset, your response to challenges. Taking responsibility is not just about success, it is about freedom. Because when you take full ownership of your life, you no longer feel like a victim. You no longer feel powerless. You realize that you have control over your future. You decide how hard you work. You decide how disciplined you are. You decide what kind of life you build. And that realization is liberating, because it means nothing is stopping you except you. Most people never reach their full potential because they refuse to take responsibility. They wait. They complain. They hope someone else will change their situation. And in doing so, they waste years of their life. But you do not have to be one of those people. You can choose differently. You can take ownership. You can decide right now that from this moment forward, every result in your life is your responsibility. That means no more blaming, no more waiting, no more excuses. Just action, just discipline, just results. The reality is, life is not fair. It never has been, and it never will be. Some people will have more advantages than you. Some will have more resources, more connections, more opportunities. But none of that matters if you take responsibility for yourself. Because history has shown time and time again that the people who win are not always the smartest, the most talented, or the luckiest. They are the ones who take responsibility and refuse to quit. They are the ones who work harder, who adapt faster, who take control of their future, instead of waiting for life to hand them success. If you want to be one of those people, start today. Start by taking full responsibility for everything in your life. The good, the bad, the mistakes, the failures. Own it all. Because once you do, you will no longer feel stuck. You will no longer feel helpless. You will no longer wait for change. You will create it. And that is the mindset that will make you unstoppable. Number 5. Dominate your goals by setting high personal standards. Success is not determined by luck, talent, or circumstances. It is determined by your standards. The level of excellence you demand from yourself in everything you do is what separates those who achieve extraordinary results from those who settle for mediocrity. If you want to dominate your goals, you must set high personal standards and refuse to accept anything less. Because the truth is, you will always rise or fall to the level of the expectations you place on yourself. If you expect average, you will get average. If you expect greatness, you will push yourself to achieve it. The key is to stop accepting anything below your full potential. Most people fail to reach their goals, not because they lack intelligence, opportunity, or resources, but because they tolerate too much weakness in themselves. They allow laziness. They accept inconsistency. They give themselves too much room for excuses. And over time, those small allowances add up. They become habits. They become patterns. And before they know it, they have settled into a life of underachievement, not because they were incapable of more, but because they never demanded more from themselves. The person who dominates their goals is the person who holds themselves to an unshakable standard. They do not make exceptions. They do not allow excuses. They do not wait for motivation. They commit to doing what is necessary every single day, no matter how they feel. If you want to become unstoppable, the first step is to raise the expectations you place on yourself. That means deciding, right now, that you will no longer accept half effort, no longer tolerate inconsistency, no longer allow yourself to operate below your full capability. You must make a commitment to excellence in every aspect of your life. How you work, how you think, how you train, how you execute your daily habits. It all matters, and it must all meet a higher standard. One of the biggest mistakes people make is setting goals without changing their standards. They want more, but they are not willing to do more. They dream of success, but they maintain the same habits, the same work ethic, the same level of commitment that has kept them stuck. If you want to achieve something you have never achieved before, you must become someone you have never been before. You must set a new standard for yourself, one that forces you to grow, one that demands discipline, one that requires complete dedication. The key to setting high standards is making them non-negotiable. You do not lower them based on how you feel. You do not adjust them because of external circumstances. You commit to them no matter what. That is what separates the elite from the average. The average person only works hard when they feel like it. They only give their best effort when conditions are perfect. The elite perform at the highest level regardless of how they feel. They have trained themselves to operate at peak performance, not because they are naturally gifted, but because they have conditioned their mind to never accept less. Your standards determine your habits, and your habits determine your results. If you have low standards for your work ethic, you will allow procrastination. If you have low standards for your discipline, you will allow inconsistency. If you have low standards for your mindset, you will allow negativity and doubt to control you. But if you raise those standards, if you demand more from yourself in every aspect of life, you will start to see changes. Your actions will improve. Your results will improve. And ultimately, your entire life will improve. Setting high personal standards also means refusing to compare yourself to others. Most people base their expectations on what the people around them are doing. They look at the average work ethic, the average level of discipline, the average commitment, and they think, I am doing enough. But if you compare yourself to average, you will never be exceptional. You must set your own standards, independent of what others are doing. That means pushing yourself harder, training your mind to go beyond what is comfortable, demanding more discipline, and refusing to be influenced by mediocrity. Another critical aspect of maintaining high personal standards is accountability. It is easy to set a goal. It is easy to say you will work hard. But without accountability, it is just words. You need a system that forces you to meet your own expectations. That could mean tracking your progress daily, setting consequences for failure, or surrounding yourself with people who will not let you lower your standards. Weak people look for excuses. Strong people look for accountability. And the stronger you become, the more responsibility you will place on yourself to uphold your own standards. When you set high personal standards, you will face resistance. People will tell you that you are too hard on yourself. They will say you should relax, that you should take it easy, that you do not need to push yourself so much. But understand this, those comments do not come from people who operate at the highest level. They come from people who are comfortable with average. And if you listen to them, if you allow their mindset to influence you, you will become like them. Do not let that happen. Stay committed to your standards, even if no one around you understands them. Every great achiever, every dominant force in their field, got there by setting an unbreakable standard for themselves. They did not wait for motivation. They did not wait for the perfect moment. They did not make excuses. They demanded more from themselves every single day. And because of that, they rose to the top. The same principle applies to you. The life you create will be determined by the expectations you set. If you demand more from yourself, you will achieve more. If you settle for less, you will stay where you are. When you look at your current results, ask yourself, are they a reflection of high standards or low ones? Is your effort at the level required for your goals? Is your discipline at the level required for success? If the answer is no, you know what needs to change. Do not wait. Do not hope that someday you will suddenly become more disciplined, more committed, more focused. Decide right now that from this moment forward, you will operate at a higher level. You will set a new standard for yourself, and you will refuse to accept anything less. Success is not about what you want. It is about what you are willing to do. It is about the effort you put in, the consistency you maintain, the discipline you enforce. The people who achieve the most in life are not always the most talented. They are not always the smartest. They are the ones who commit to the highest standards and never lower them. Your goals are within reach. The life you want is possible, but it will not happen by chance. It will not happen by luck. It will happen because you decide to raise your standards and never compromise on them. That decision is yours to make. The question is, will you make it? Number 6. Train your body and mind to endure any challenge, to truly master life, to stand tall in the face of adversity, to become unbreakable in the pursuit of your dreams. You must train both your body and your mind to endure anything. Life will throw obstacles at you, challenges that seem impossible, moments that test your strength, both mentally and physically. But the true measure of your potential lies not in avoiding these challenges, but in your ability to face them head on, to rise up when you fall, and to keep going when everything inside you is telling you to quit. The difference between those who make it and those who don't is their ability to endure. Endurance is not a gift. It is built over time. It is earned through every effort you put into training your body and mind, every time you choose to push through pain, fatigue, and doubt. Most people do not realize this, but success is less about raw talent and more about endurance. Anyone can have a breakthrough moment. Anyone can achieve a short burst of success, but real lasting achievement is about enduring over time. It's about having the mental and physical strength to stay in the game long after others have given up. Think of the athletes, the leaders, the creators who have changed the world. They did not achieve greatness in a day, a week, or even a year. They did it by enduring. They trained relentlessly. They faced their fears. They stayed consistent in their effort, and they became stronger with every challenge they faced. To endure, you must first accept that challenges are inevitable. Life will not be easy. There will be days when you feel like throwing in the towel, when you doubt your ability to continue, when the road seems too steep to climb. But it's in those moments, when everything is pushing you to stop, that your true strength will be forged. You will either give in to the pressure, or you will rise above it. The choice is yours. And if you want to endure, you must choose to rise. The foundation of enduring any challenge begins with your mindset. Your mind is your most powerful tool. It will either empower you to keep moving forward, or it will pull you down when things get tough. Your mindset is not something you're born with. It is something you cultivate. It is shaped by how you respond to adversity. You have the power to train your mind just as you train your body. It's not about being born with a tough mind. It's about consistently conditioning your thoughts to focus on strength, on perseverance, on solutions, not problems. It's about shifting your focus from the obstacles in front of you to the opportunities on the other side. But training your mind requires discipline. It's not enough to want to be strong. You must put in the work. The mind thrives on consistency. You must practice mental toughness every single day. That means when things are hard, you do not quit. When fear arises, you do not back down. When doubt creeps in, you do not listen to it. Instead, you feed your mind with positive thoughts, with affirmations, with empowering beliefs that keep you moving forward, no matter what. And remember, just like any muscle, your mind gets stronger the more you challenge it. The more you push your limits, the stronger your resolve becomes. You build your mental endurance through your daily actions. Every time you choose to push through, you are building that mental muscle. It's not enough to wait for motivation or for perfect conditions. True strength is built when conditions are imperfect, when you feel exhausted, when the task seems impossible, when everyone else has quit. This is where you make your mark. This is where your endurance is tested. And this is where you win. On top of mental endurance, you must also build physical endurance. Physical strength is the foundation of everything. It's not about being the strongest person in the room. It's about building a body that can handle whatever comes your way. Your body is the vessel that carries you through life, and it must be treated as such. You need a body that can endure long hours, that can keep going even when you're tired, that can withstand physical and mental strain. This comes through consistent training, whether it's lifting weights, running, doing bodyweight exercises, or whatever it is that challenges your body to grow stronger. Physical endurance is built through repetition. It's about showing up no matter how you feel. It's about pushing yourself just a little bit further each time. Every time you break a sweat, every time you feel that burn, you are building endurance. Every time you don't give up, you are telling your body, I am stronger than this. And every time your body starts to break down and you push through, you send a message to your mind that nothing will stop you. That's how you create an unbreakable connection between your mind and body. Physical endurance does not just come from lifting heavier weights or running faster. It comes from pushing your limits every day. It comes from getting comfortable with discomfort. You need to train your body to perform when it's tired, to keep moving when it's painful, to rise up when it's easy to give in. The moment you train yourself to keep going, despite the physical strain, is the moment you become unstoppable. But it doesn't stop there. To truly endure, you need to practice resilience. Resilience is your ability to bounce back from setbacks. It's the ability to keep moving forward, even when you fall. And in life, you will fall, you will fail, you will be knocked down. But it's not about the fall, it's about how you rise. You can't let a single failure define you. You can't let a single mistake keep you down. You must learn how to get back up, how to recover, and how to move forward stronger than before. Resilience is about training yourself to not just survive adversity, but to grow from it. One of the most critical aspects of resilience is emotional endurance. Your emotions will try to control you, especially in difficult times. Fear, doubt, frustration. These emotions will arise, and they will challenge your ability to endure. But you must learn how to control your emotions, instead of letting them control you. This means not allowing negative emotions to dictate your actions. This means choosing to stay calm under pressure, to think clearly when things are chaotic, and to stay focused when everything around you is falling apart. Emotional endurance is something you build every day. It's about learning to stay grounded, no matter how intense the situation. It's about learning to detach your sense of self-worth from external circumstances. The more you practice emotional endurance, the more you develop a mindset that no challenge can break you. Your emotions may rise and fall, but your commitment to your goals, to your growth, will never waver. But endurance is not just about enduring one challenge. It's about training yourself to endure over a lifetime. It's about building a life that is equipped to handle anything that comes your way. And that's where the true power lies. Endurance is a lifelong journey. It's not about one moment of strength. It's about consistency. It's about showing up every day, no matter what. It's about training your body, training your mind, and becoming a person who can handle any situation that life throws at you. In the end, endurance is what separates those who succeed from those who fail. Those who succeed are the ones who keep going when everyone else quits. They are the ones who endure when others take shortcuts. They are the ones who show up every single day, who put in the work, who push their limits, and who rise every time they fall. You have the ability to be that person. You have the ability to endure any challenge, no matter how tough it gets, but you have to train for it. You have to commit to it. And most importantly, you have to believe in your ability to overcome anything. You have the strength to endure. It's time to unleash it. Number 7, cut out weak excuses and take relentless action. Excuses are the shackles that keep us bound to the ground. They are the reasons we tell ourselves for why we can't do something, for why we don't take action, for why we don't live up to our potential. But the truth is, every excuse is a lie we tell ourselves to avoid the hard work, the discomfort, the effort needed to achieve greatness. The only thing that separates you from your dreams is your ability to cut out those weak excuses and take relentless action. The world doesn't care about your excuses. Your dreams won't wait for you to stop procrastinating. Time doesn't stop ticking because you feel like things aren't perfect. The key to success is to stop waiting for the perfect moment and instead create the moment through relentless action. Action is the currency of success. The more action you take, the closer you get to where you want to be. But action without focus, without commitment, is like running in circles. It doesn't matter how fast you're running or how hard you're pushing if you're not heading in the right direction. And that's where the first step in cutting out excuses comes in. It's not about being perfect. It's about starting. Starting even when things aren't ideal. Starting even when you don't feel ready. If you wait until everything is aligned, if you wait for the perfect conditions, you will be waiting forever. The time to act is now. Taking action begins with recognizing the excuses that hold you back. Excuses are easy, they're comfortable, they let you off the hook, but they also steal your future. Excuses sound something like this: I'm too tired, I don't have enough time, it's too hard, I'm not ready, I'll start tomorrow, this isn't the right time. Every one of these is a lie, a reason to procrastinate, a reason to not take the steps you need to move forward. Excuses give you permission to avoid discomfort, to stay in your comfort zone, to avoid the pain that comes with progress. But nothing worth having comes without effort. Success is not for those who are waiting for everything to line up perfectly. Success is for the relentless, the ones who push forward regardless of the obstacles. Now, the reality is that making excuses is a habit. And like all habits, It's difficult to break. The only way to break this habit is through relentless action. You must act in spite of your doubts, in spite of the voice in your head that tells you to wait, to procrastinate, to rest. The first step in cutting out excuses is to make a commitment to yourself. A commitment that says, I will not let myself off the hook. I will do whatever it takes to make my goals a reality. Once you make that commitment, every decision you make will reflect that commitment. The question you will ask yourself will no longer be, can I do this? But what will I do to make this happen? Relentless action isn't about taking huge steps all at once. It's about taking consistent, deliberate steps every single day. Small steps taken relentlessly will compound over time and lead you to massive success. If you want to run a marathon, you don't just wake up one day and decide to run 26 miles. You train for it. You take action each and every day, building your endurance, building your strength, building your confidence. It's the same with your goals. You don't wake up one day and suddenly achieve everything you've ever wanted. You start where you are. You start with what you have, and you take action no matter how small, every single day. The difference between success and failure is not in your talent or your luck, but in your ability to keep taking action when things get tough. One of the biggest excuses people make is that they don't know how to start. They don't know where to begin, so they don't begin at all. They get caught in overthinking, paralyzed by the fear of making the wrong move. But the truth is, you don't need to know every step of the journey to take the first one. You just need to take that first step. Action creates momentum. Once you begin, the path will reveal itself to you. You will learn as you go. But the key is that you must start. And when you start, you must do so with an unwavering commitment to push forward no matter what. Another excuse that many people make is that they don't have enough time. Time is the most precious resource we have. But the truth is, everyone has the same 24 hours in a day. The difference is how we use them. Time is a matter of priorities. If your goals are truly important to you, you will make time for them. You will wake up earlier, stay up later, sacrifice less important activities, and focus on what matters most. Time is a choice. If you continue to make excuses about not having enough time, you will never achieve the things you want. You will have to make a decision. Do you want to live a life of excuses or a life of action? Taking action also requires you to face fear head-on. Fear is one of the most powerful excuses that people use. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of the unknown. But fear is not something that you should run from. It's something that you should run toward. Fear is a signal that you are stepping out of your comfort zone, that you are on the path of growth. The only way to defeat fear is to take action in spite of it. Fear will always be there, but it doesn't control you. You control it. The more action you take, the more fear dissipates. And the more action you take, the stronger you become. One of the most powerful ways to defeat excuses is by building self-discipline. Discipline is the muscle that enables you to push through the moments when excuses arise. It's what keeps you moving forward when the going gets tough. Discipline is not something that you either have or you don't. It's something you build. It's something you develop through consistent action, through showing up every day, even when you don't feel like it. It's through taking action when everything inside of you says quit that you develop the power of discipline. And once you have discipline, no excuse can stand in your way. No obstacle will be able to stop you. You will keep moving forward no matter what. Relentless action is also about being adaptable. Things won't always go according to plan. Life will throw curveballs. You will face setbacks. You will encounter failure. But none of this should stop you. Taking relentless action means being willing to adjust, to adapt, and to keep moving forward, even when things don't go as expected. It means learning from your mistakes, bouncing back from failure, and finding new ways to make progress. Finally, you must hold yourself accountable. No one else is going to push you to take action. No one else is going to hold you to your commitments. It is up to you to decide if your dreams are worth the effort. If you want something badly enough, you will do whatever it takes to make it happen. Excuses will never be enough to keep you from taking action once you are fully committed. You must become your own biggest supporter, your own biggest motivator. You must be the one who says, I'm not stopping until I get what I want. Remember, the most successful people in the world are not the ones who had it easy. They're the ones who faced challenges, who dealt with setbacks, who overcame obstacles. They're the ones who took action when everyone else made excuses. If you want to be successful, if you want to achieve your dreams, you must take action. Stop waiting for the perfect time. Stop making excuses and start moving forward. Relentless action is the key to breaking free from the chains of procrastination and building the life you've always wanted. So cut out the excuses, take action, and watch your life transform. Number 8, push through pain and discomfort without backing down. Pain and discomfort are not obstacles to your progress. They are stepping stones to your greatness. These moments of challenge are often the moments when the most growth occurs. When you push through pain and discomfort without backing down, you break through the barriers that most people would never dare to cross. It is in these moments of discomfort that your true power is forged. Strength is built not when you're comfortable, but when you're in the midst of struggle, in the middle of the grind. Success doesn't come to those who avoid pain. It comes to those who embrace it and use it as fuel to propel themselves forward. In life, there will be moments when the pain feels unbearable. It could be physical pain, emotional pain, mental exhaustion, or the weight of self-doubt. Every part of you may want to give up. You'll feel like retreating, like taking the easy way out. But here's the truth. Nothing worth having comes easily. No breakthrough, no achievement, no victory comes without its fair share of pain. The key is not to avoid discomfort, but to push through it, to keep moving forward, even when every fiber of your being screams to stop. When you're faced with pain, whether it's physical or emotional, you have two choices: to back down or to push through. It's in the choice to push through that your character is forged. When you resist the urge to quit and instead take that next step forward, you become stronger. You prove to yourself that you are capable of handling more than you thought possible. This is how resilience is built. Resilience is not about being immune to pain. It's about developing the strength to endure it. Every time you face discomfort and choose to keep going, you build the mental toughness that will carry you through the toughest of times. The truth is that pain is inevitable. It is a natural part of the process of growth. But how you handle it is what makes the difference between those who succeed and those who give up. When you're faced with pain, you can either see it as a signal to stop or a signal to go harder. The most successful individuals in any field are the ones who choose to push through pain, not avoid it. When they face obstacles, they don't let them defeat them. They let them motivate them. They see pain as a necessary part of the journey, a challenge to be overcome, not a reason to quit. You don't get to choose when pain comes your way. Life doesn't always wait for you to feel ready, but you do get to choose how you respond. You can choose to back down, to let pain defeat you, or you can choose to rise above it. The more you push through, the easier it becomes to do it the next time. Pain becomes a signal that you're on the right path, that you're pushing the boundaries of your comfort zone, that you're stretching your limits and moving closer to your goals. In fact, pain is a teacher. It teaches you what you're truly made of. When everything feels like it's falling apart, when it feels like there's no way to keep going, those are the moments that show you who you really are. Those are the moments when you discover your inner strength. It's easy to keep going when things are going well, but it's when things get tough that you really learn what you're capable of. Pushing through pain teaches you that you are far more resilient than you ever imagined. It teaches you that you can handle discomfort, that you can take on more than you think you can. The only limits that exist are the ones you place on yourself. When you push through the pain, you shatter those limits. Another important aspect of pushing through pain is understanding that pain is temporary. It's easy to think that the discomfort you're experiencing will last forever, but the reality is that it won't. Whether it's physical pain from pushing your body to new limits or emotional pain from facing your fears, it will pass. The key is not to let that pain define you. When you're in the midst of discomfort, it can feel like the world is caving in. But if you can push through, if you can keep moving forward, you'll find that the pain fades and you emerge stronger than before. You will look back and realize that the pain was simply a phase, a necessary part of the process that brought you closer to your goals. When you push through pain, you build not only physical strength, but also mental fortitude. Mental toughness is what separates those who succeed from those who quit. It's the ability to keep going even when you don't feel like it. It's the ability to do the work even when you're exhausted. It's the ability to choose growth over comfort, to choose progress over stagnation. Mental toughness is built by repeatedly choosing to push through pain, to face discomfort head-on, to keep moving forward even when it feels impossible. The more you practice mental toughness, the stronger you become. But pushing through pain doesn't mean ignoring it. It means acknowledging it, understanding that it's a natural part of the journey, and deciding to continue anyway. It means using the pain as motivation to move forward, to prove to yourself that you can handle whatever comes your way. It's about embracing the challenge, not running from it. When you push through pain, you not only grow stronger, but also become more confident in your ability to handle future challenges. Every time you endure discomfort and push through it, you prove to yourself that you are capable of overcoming anything. One of the most powerful things you can do when facing pain is to reframe your perspective. Instead of seeing pain as a negative experience, see it as an opportunity for growth. Every time you face discomfort, you are pushing yourself closer to becoming the person you are meant to be. Pain is the catalyst for change. Without it, there is no growth. You cannot expand, you cannot level up, you cannot evolve without facing discomfort. The more you reframe your perspective and see pain as a necessary part of your evolution, the easier it becomes to push through it. Another key to pushing through pain is developing a sense of purpose. When you have a clear vision of your goals and a strong sense of purpose, pain becomes more bearable. You realize that the discomfort is only temporary, and the reward on the other side is worth it. When your purpose is clear and your vision is strong, you'll be able to endure any amount of pain because you know that it is getting you one step closer to your dreams. It's the difference between enduring pain for something meaningless versus enduring pain for something that truly matters. The most successful people in the world didn't get there by avoiding pain. They got there by pushing through it. They didn't let discomfort stop them. They used it to fuel their determination, to fuel their drive. Pain is not an obstacle, it's an opportunity. The more you embrace this mindset, the easier it will be to push through any challenge that comes your way. When you push through pain, you build a mental and emotional resilience that can withstand anything. You become the person who doesn't back down, the person who doesn't quit when things get tough. You become someone who thrives in discomfort, who rises to every challenge, who gets stronger with every battle. Pushing through pain is how you become unbreakable, unstoppable, and unstoppable. When you make this your mindset, there is nothing in life that can stop you. You are a force to be reckoned with, and you will never back down from the challenges that come your way. Number 9, lead with confidence by proving your worth daily. If you want to lead with confidence, you must prove your worth every single day. Confidence isn't something that magically appears. It is earned, developed, and reinforced through your daily actions and decisions. It's about being consistent and reliable, showing up and delivering results, even when nobody is watching. When you prove your worth through hard work, determination, and the relentless pursuit of excellence, you'll begin to notice how people naturally start to trust you more, respect you more, and look to you as a leader. The foundation of true confidence lies in the work you put in, and the integrity with which you approach everything you do. Proving your worth daily means putting in the effort, regardless of how you feel. Confidence doesn't come from feeling good about yourself when things are easy. It's about showing up when it's hard, when you're tired, when you're uncertain. It's about being the person who doesn't back down when challenges arise. Every time you take that step forward, even when the odds are against you, you're proving to yourself that you are capable of achieving greatness. Confidence is not a destination. It's a continuous journey of self-validation. Every action you take, every goal you reach, and every challenge you overcome adds to your internal belief that you are worthy of success. One of the most powerful ways to build unshakable confidence is by setting small, achievable goals and accomplishing them. Each time you meet a goal, you reinforce your sense of self-worth. It's in the small victories that your confidence grows, and these victories accumulate into bigger successes. You don't have to wait for a major breakthrough to feel confident. Confidence is built one small win at a time. It's about stacking up those wins daily, pushing forward with every task, no matter how big or small, and proving to yourself that you are capable of more than you realize. The key to leading with confidence is not in waiting for others to validate you, but in validating yourself first. When you prove your worth to yourself, you begin to carry yourself with a sense of purpose and certainty. You stop second-guessing your abilities and decisions, because you know that you have consistently delivered on your promises to yourself. When you keep promises, especially the ones you make to yourself, your confidence grows. It's about being your own biggest supporter, recognizing your own worth, and knowing that you have the skills and determination to achieve your goals. It's about understanding that your value is not dependent on external approval, but on the results you consistently deliver. The world responds to confidence. When you walk into a room with purpose, when you speak with certainty, when you move with conviction, people notice. Confidence doesn't have to be loud or brash. It's a quiet strength that comes from knowing that you've earned your place. This type of confidence isn't arrogant or boastful. It's rooted in the consistency of your actions and the results you've achieved. When you lead with confidence, people trust your judgment, they respect your abilities, and they follow your lead. Confidence inspires trust. It signals to others that you are someone worth listening to, someone worth following. Proving your worth daily also means that you are constantly pushing yourself to improve. Confidence isn't about reaching a plateau and staying there. It's about continually growing, learning, and evolving. Every day presents an opportunity to get better, to be more efficient, to learn a new skill, to expand your knowledge, or to build a stronger work ethic. When you commit to personal growth, you not only improve your abilities, but you also reinforce your belief in yourself. The more you grow, the more confident you become, because you know you are becoming the best version of yourself. Confidence comes from knowing that you are always improving and always striving for greatness. To lead with confidence, you must also develop resilience. Life will test your confidence, and you will face setbacks, challenges, and moments of doubt. However, how you respond to adversity is what sets you apart. It's not about avoiding failure, but about bouncing back from it, learning from it, and growing stronger. Resilience is what keeps you moving forward when things get tough. It's about staying focused on your goals, even when things aren't going according to plan. Every time you push through adversity, you build a stronger foundation of confidence. You prove to yourself that you can overcome obstacles and keep moving forward, no matter what. Self-doubt is something everyone faces, but it doesn't have to define you. The key to overcoming self-doubt is taking action. Every time you doubt yourself and still choose to take action, you prove to yourself that you are capable. Confidence doesn't mean being free from doubt. It means acknowledging that doubt exists and deciding to push forward anyway. Doubt is natural, but it doesn't have to control your decisions. When you continue to take steps towards your goals, despite that doubt, you're proving your worth to yourself and reinforcing your belief in your abilities. It's about acting in spite of fear and uncertainty and trusting that you are on the right path. Consistency is the bedrock of confidence. It's easy to feel confident when things are going well, but true confidence is built through the daily grind, through showing up when you don't feel like it, through putting in the work day in and day out. This consistency builds momentum, and momentum builds confidence. Every time you take action, you add to your momentum. You keep pushing forward, even when you don't see immediate results, because you know that every small action is a step closer to your larger goals. The more you prove to yourself that you can maintain this consistency, the more confidence you build. Building confidence is also about recognizing your worth and refusing to settle for less than you deserve. When you know your value, you stop accepting anything that doesn't align with your standards. You don't tolerate mediocrity, whether it's in your work, relationships, or the opportunities you pursue. Confidence comes from knowing that you deserve the best, and you will settle for nothing less. By consistently proving your worth and demanding excellence from yourself, you teach others how to treat you, and you elevate the quality of everything in your life. It's also important to recognize that confidence is contagious. When you lead with confidence, others will follow. Your energy, your conviction, and your certainty inspire those around you. They will look to you for guidance, trust your judgment, and follow your lead. Leadership is not about forcing others to follow. It's about leading by example, setting the tone, and inspiring others through your actions. When you consistently prove your worth, others will recognize that strength and will want to be a part of what you're doing. When you consistently prove your worth, you create a cycle of success. Your actions lead to results, which reinforce your belief in your abilities, which lead to more actions, which produce more results. This cycle builds on itself, and over time, you become a force to be reckoned with. Your confidence will no longer be something you need to question. It will be a natural part of who you are. Leading with confidence will become second nature, because you've proven your worth every single day. You've put in the work, and the results speak for themselves. Your confidence will be unshakable because it's not based on external validation. It's based on your consistent daily effort and the undeniable results you've achieved. In the end, confidence is not about being perfect. It's about consistently showing up and doing your best, no matter the circumstances. It's about taking ownership of your journey and committing to prove your worth every day, not just when it's convenient. When you lead with confidence, you not only prove your value to the world, you prove it to yourself. And that is the most powerful kind of confidence there is. Number 10, win in life by outworking and outlasting everyone. Winning in life isn't about having a lucky break or hoping that the stars align for you. It's about outworking and outlasting everyone who doubts you, underestimates you, or tries to hold you back. The true measure of success isn't determined by how fast you can get to the top, but by your ability to keep climbing, keep pushing, and outlast every obstacle that tries to knock you down. It's about showing up when no one else will, doing the work when others are too tired, and refusing to quit, even when the world tells you to. Most people want the rewards of success without understanding the effort, sacrifice, and persistence required to get there. They want the praise, the admiration, the fame, but they don't want to put in the hours of struggle, failure, and discomfort that are necessary to achieve lasting success. The secret, however, is simple. Outwork everyone. Work harder, longer, and smarter than anyone around you. While others are resting, you should be improving. When they're giving up, you should be finding new ways to push through. Winning is not about talent. It's about resilience and effort. It's about showing up day after day, even when the results don't immediately reflect your hard work. Outworking others is not just about the quantity of effort you put in. It's about the quality. It's about focusing on what truly matters and ensuring that every task, no matter how small, is executed with precision and determination. It's about putting in the hours when others take shortcuts, taking the extra step when others stop halfway, and staying committed when others lose faith. The best don't wait for the opportunity to come to them. They create it by working tirelessly toward their goals. There will be times when you feel like giving up, when you want to throw in the towel because things aren't going your way, or the results aren't showing as quickly as you want. But this is where the difference is made. Success isn't guaranteed by the early victories. It's earned by the relentless drive to keep going when everyone else has quit. The people who truly win in life are the ones who can endure hardship, push through adversity, and keep moving forward when everything seems stacked against them. They have a resolve that others can't match, and it is this persistence that sets them apart. To outlast everyone, you have to develop the mindset that quitting is never an option. The road to success is full of hurdles, challenges, and obstacles. It's easy to be motivated when everything is going well, but real champions are made during the toughest moments. The ones who rise above are the ones who understand that challenges are simply stepping stones to success. They don't see obstacles as something to fear. They see them as opportunities to show what they're made of. It's not about avoiding the pain or discomfort of the journey. It's about embracing it and pushing through. It's about acknowledging that the road ahead won't be easy, but your commitment to your goals is unwavering. When you decide to outwork and outlast everyone, you commit to being relentless, to not allowing anything to stop you from reaching your destination. You understand that every failure is a lesson, every setback is temporary, and every challenge is an opportunity for growth. Endurance is not a trait you're born with. It's something you cultivate through consistent effort. It's something that is built over time through small daily actions. Winning in life is the sum total of your habits, your work ethic, and your determination to rise above when others fall behind. The more consistently you show up and put in the work, the stronger your endurance becomes. It becomes second nature. The world will throw every obstacle in your way, but if you've built the mental and emotional endurance to handle it, nothing will be able to stop you. Outlasting others is also about maintaining your focus. There will always be distractions, whether it's the opinions of others, the pressures of life, or your own self-doubt. To win, you have to ignore the noise, block out the distractions, and keep your eyes on the prize. It's about doing the work when no one else is paying attention, and continuing to grind even when the applause has faded. True winners don't need validation from others, because they know their success is the result of their own unwavering commitment. The ability to focus on the task at hand and push through when things get tough is what separates those who win from those who just wish they could win. While others are distracted by trivial things, winners stay laser-focused on what's important. They block out the noise, and they keep working. And most importantly, they keep going long after others have given up. It's also important to remember that success doesn't happen overnight. It's a marathon, not a sprint. People often look at successful individuals and see the end result, the fame, the wealth, the recognition. But they don't see the years of hard work, failure, and perseverance that went into making that success possible. You can't measure success by instant results. You measure it by your ability to keep pushing forward, by your ability to keep working even when it feels like you're not making progress. The effort you put in and day out is what truly matters. And over time, those small, consistent efforts will pay off. Winning doesn't always mean being the first to cross the finish line. Sometimes it's about being the last one standing. Outlasting everyone means that you have the ability to endure the toughest times, to keep pushing even when you're tired, to keep fighting even when others have thrown in the towel. While everyone else burns out, you keep going. You're playing the long game, and it's that long-term commitment that will ultimately make the difference. There will be times when you feel like you're not making any progress. You might feel like your efforts are going unnoticed, or that you're not getting the results you deserve. This is when most people quit. But it's in these moments that you must remind yourself that success is not guaranteed by immediate results. It's earned through consistent effort over time. The real winners in life are the ones who keep showing up, who keep working, even when they don't see the rewards immediately. Success isn't just about outworking others in the moment. It's about having the long-term endurance to keep going when others burn out. The greatest athletes, the most successful entrepreneurs, and the most respected leaders all share one thing in common. They are able to keep going when others fall behind. They have the resilience to outlast the competition, the strength to keep pushing, even when the path is uncertain, and the focus to stay on course, even when things get tough. Winning in life is about creating a mindset of persistence and dedication. It's about understanding that every day is an opportunity to put in the work that will lead to your ultimate success. You don't need to compare yourself to others, because your success is not determined by how fast you reach your goals. It's determined by your ability to outwork and outlast everyone who stands in your way. Keep pushing forward, keep doing the work, and remember that success is not about talent. It's about effort, persistence, and resilience. The ability to outwork and outlast others requires discipline, a refusal to quit, and the courage to continue moving forward, no matter what. So when others give up, you press on. When others slow down, you speed up. When others stop believing in themselves, you keep going. And in the end, it's your ability to keep pushing, keep working, and keep enduring that will lead you to the victory you deserve.